And that is our top story for you this evening at 6. With just 6 days to go until Election Day, Georgians continue to show up in force to vote early.
So let's check out these numbers here, folks. They are impressive. Nearly 3.4 million voters have already cast their ballots here in Georgia. And today, Georgia's Secretary of State talked about the record turnout and promising to protect the integrity of those results.
I will hold both parties accountable to you, the voters of Georgia. And I stand ready to defend the results of the election with election officials all across the states. We will do our job.
And with many of those votes likely to be counted by this same time next week, there are still concerns that challenges to the election results may be inevitable.
Doug Richards with our 11 Alive political team is live in Brookhaven, where he's been looking into this tonight. Doug?
Yeah, this and other early voting sites across the state are part of this record turnout that we've been talking about. But the question tonight is whether challenges to the vote totals that'll be announced after the polls close Tuesday are already in the works.
Certified results are not substantiated.
Garland Favorito has been challenging Georgia election systems and results since before 2020. And less than a week before the 2024 election, there could be a repeat.
How do you have a vote with no ballot image?
Favorito is part of a pattern that some left-leaning election watchdogs say is likely to create more challenges after this election, especially if the results show Donald Trump lost.
What we're seeing right now is an expected dramatic increase in attacks on democracy from election deniers whose goals are very clear.
Isoza Oza is an information specialist who thinks the same Trump-backed election challengers who surfaced in 2020 will do the same in 2024 if Kamala Harris prevails. She says many have already laid the groundwork, challenging the integrity of election systems in battleground states like Georgia.
It is very much going to be dependent on the outcome of this election.
Republicans have changed election rules in Georgia since 2020, which is when Atlanta Tea Party founder Debbie Dooley was among those leading challenges at the state capitol to Joe Biden's victory in Georgia. But Dooley tells us she expects fewer post-election challenges this year.
2024 is a different animal than 2020. It really is.
So if Harris wins, to what extent do you challenge it?
I think most folks, will, unless it's something glaring, I think they will accept the results of the election.
So the question is, could that really happen if Donald Trump loses the election in Georgia on Tuesday? A lot of folks will be kind of holding their breath, not only to see whether there's a challenge, but how large scale it will be. We are live in Brookhaven tonight. Doug Richards, 11 Alive News.
All right, Doug, thank you so much.